Okay, wow. It is just one of those nights. Don't worry, my garage is not on fire yet. I think something dropped into the kerosene heater, and I left it on while I went to the beer store to go get some cigars. And lo and behold, my garage is full of black smoke. So I'm gonna open the doors. It's just it's one of those nights, guys. It's one of those nights, and we'll get into that in a little bit. We will get into that in a little bit. Right. So why is it one of those nights? Well, here's one of the reasons. So in my last video, I had a leaf, an Oscar leaf that I was smoking, and I said, man, that was a really good cigar. You know, I don't want to waste it. I'm getting a little woozy smoking it too quick, so let me put it away. Let me castrate it and save it. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm like, tonight I'm gonna go work on the car a little bit, and I know the garage is a mess, so get into that too. And so I'm like, all right, well, cigar will be like a kind of a treat for me, right? So I come outside, I light my cigar, and I'm stumbling over parts and stuff. And this is also one of the reasons why it's been a night, because the code enforcement people decided to make me put my own property inside of my inside of my garage. So now I have this in here, and I would, ideally go and clear coat this front bumper tonight, fire up the heater and paint it. It came out pretty nice. This is the damaged side too, so you can see a little bit of that Bondo in there and stuff. I would have gone and clear coated that tonight, but yeah, I can't because the bay is taken up with this car. So that's cool. And then, lastly, of course, come back after I run to the beer store, after I drop my perfectly good cigar in the water, and then this is smoking all over the garage. So it is one of those nights. So today, I guess what I'm going to plan on doing is doing a little bit of cleanup around the garage. I was going to clear coat that front bumper, but I can't. It looks really great. It's all red right now because the masking tape is still on there. And that's right. Work. Okay, so we got the front is jacked up more than the rear, and we got the trash bag off the front of the car so that water couldn't get in when it was sitting outside. And now we have this pile of crap to clean up. So it's a combination of just throwing stuff out and figuring out what I want to keep. There's a lot of soldering irons in there and stuff. And yeah, not really sure what I want to do. I have this bicycle as well. If you want a bicycle, come down to Burlington County. I don't want to throw it out because I'm a hoarder, but I think I might throw it out. I paid $25 for it, and then I looked it up on the internet to see if I could sell parts off it. No, it's not worth much. I thought it'd be a cool pit bike. Then I rode it around the neighborhood a couple times, and I was like, no, not gonna be. It's way too heavy, and it's got these old shifters on it and stuff, and the crank is bent. Kind of wanted to give a backstory on why I am the way I am, I guess. So you'll notice all of these gears and all these parts. Some of it is excess, okay? I mean, a lot of it is excess in a lot of people's eyes, and I agree. It is too much. I think that I could definitely do to pare down my supply, and I'm constantly working to do that. But I grew up watching my dad, who was raised in poverty in North Philly, and he kept everything, man. He would buy 2 of the same thing, 3 of the same thing, 4 of the same thing, and just hold on to it. And he filled up rooms in our house with stuff. And, he would kind of cover up his problem by saying I'm going to sell it on eBay. And he would sell books on eBay, but kind of not really enough to make a lot of money or anything. And I kind of got that idea from him. I was like, okay, well, if he can sell books on eBay, I can sell car parts and hoard those. And it's sort of unhealthy, as you can see. But the thing is, it's also funded my racing program to a large extent. And then when I've gone to form partnerships with people, I've told them, look, this is how I fund the program. It's a budget program. I buy or obtain free parts cars or, paid for parts cars. And then I take them apart and take the parts that I need out of them, sell the parts I don't need, and I make some money. The side effect of that is I'm a single man living in a 2-story house with a 2-car garage and a basement and a full-time job. So making sure that everything gets cleaned up is very difficult for me. And so I end up with all this crap. And so I do make money off the stuff that I sell. Not really make money. It's more like I sell stuff and it covers losses. But it's better than taking all of my money from my job, which I choose to invest in, 401k and stocks and things like that, and putting that into racing. Once in a while, I'll make big purchases and treat myself, but usually it's very low budget stuff. Everything is low budget. And so my friends will be like, Dylan, when are you fixing the 4Runner? When are you getting the trailer? Blah, blah. And I'll be like, it's coming. And meanwhile, I'm slowly cracking away at everything so that I can get stuff like this. So like, when are you going to finish the car? When are you going to finish the car? It's like, people are asking me, when are you going to put this on the car, that on the car? It's like, dude, I just finished putting an entire quarter panel on this car and painting the entire thing. So it all takes time. And I'm lucky that I have really great friends that step up when I really need the help. And they're like, dude, I'll help you. And like Anthony Robison, he's like, I consider the dude like a father to me, and he like hooked me up with the fire suppression system. He said, when you get some cash flow, pay me back for it. I'm like, that's great, because all the cash flow I have went into stuff for this car and also into investments that are more responsible. And so I'm really cutting it close. And this kind of happens anytime I'm in a race season that's going to be super competitive. 2018, 2019 H4 was very similar. Everything I did was around the car. Everything. And it was unhealthy. Now I'm a little bit more balanced with it, but it does get crazy. It gets really crazy, and that's why I have to take off years. 2020 I did one race. 2021 I raced, but it was H4. H2 was tough. I tried to make it out there, tried to make a good showing, and I had a bunch of issues with the car. This year I want to make a championship run. 2024 I plan to take a break. So all this stuff going on is kind of crazy, but that's just a backstory. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I am the way I am. That's what made the beast the beast. Beasts, B word, whatever you want to call me. But yeah, so beautiful motor right here. D16 Y7. Probably still runs, to be honest with you. Haven't even dropped the oil pan or anything, but this needs to come out. It'll make the car easier to push around and stuff. We got most of the stuff picked up from here. A lot of it was thrown out, and then I took it outside. So we're going to continue cleaning. I have a strainer there that I might be able to use, and then I have a bunch of boxes that I had to go ransack to try and find parts for that. And I found the parts, so now I got to put the boxes back together. I didn't have time at the time. And so yeah, we're going to continue cleaning, and I will continue updating. But I did clean up the floor over here, which is pretty cool. Didn't get all these boxes cleaned up yet. And I did bring in some things from the house that I needed to bring in the garage, and I brought some things from the garage that I needed to put in the basement. One of the things that I brought in from the house is this label maker. So it's battery powered. As you can see, I was typing very important things on this label maker a little bit ago. The reason I got it was because I wanted to be able to label stuff on my dash. So like if you look over here, those two buttons, the top one says page, the bottom one says beacon. I used electrical tape and pen to write that down. So we're going to print this out. We're going to print out those labels on here. And the reason we're going to do that is so that we can read it more easily when we're in the car and not getting confused. On the AEM dash, when you cross the start-finish line, you have to hold the beacon button. And if you confuse it with the page button, you'll just switch a page and you'll be like, oh crap, and you'll miss your lap. I do have a backup AIM Solo to help me for any analysis that I need to do. But the AEM is my primary thing. So we're going to create those labels real quick. I do also have some water. Keep myself very well hydrated, and yeah. Here we go. Woo! So much better. You can see that much better. So this shifts the page on the dash. When you press that, this shifts the beacon. These just run straight to ground, and then the ground is one of these strips down here. It looks messy, but it'll be fine. Everything else in the car looks pretty dang good. And so yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. That's done, and then I'm going to take some measurements for some vinyl. Okay, so to get measurements, it's pretty simple. Instead of like worrying about, you know, putting down masking tape, anything like that. I basically locked this and I took a bunch of pictures. So like, for example, I knew that the numbers are going to go something like that on the front, right? And I want to close to timing and scoring, which is normally on the inside of most tracks, which normally go to the right, except for like Watkins Glen and Palmer. Palmer goes to the left, and then Watkins Glen goes to the right, but the timing and scoring is on the left. So anyway, long story short, we are measuring perpendicular to this line, and then you take a picture of it, do the same thing like this, take a picture of it, and then I did the same thing for the side of the door. And then I did the same thing here because I'm going to replace this name. I'm going to give myself a new name this season. First it was El Raton. Well, no, first it was El Rato because I didn't know that, like, so like Google Translate sucks. And I was like first learning Spanish. But then I turned it to El Raton because it's the big rat. You know, El Raton, that's me. And then Hijo de Puta, you know, if you know, you know. And then, so we're going to change that. That's going to be something new. Be a surprise. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but, you know, I think it's cool. That's all that matters. So we're also going to, I think what I'm going to do for the Toyo tire stickers is I'm just going to use the ones that they have at registration instead of paying to make my own. And, yeah. So, it is 8:57, so let's take a break and see what we want to do. Okay, so I think that's it for the night. You know, this is nice and burned. We got a lot of stuff put away, a lot of stuff taken care of. Those boxes are now packed with stuff. That box is packed with stuff. That bag is packed with stuff. It's not neat, but it'll do the trick. And then I was looking for a bag of stickers. They were the stickers that have like the kill switch logo, the fire extinguisher logo, the tow hitch logo, and I can't find it, but I wanted to do it to at least put the kill switch logo on the car. I took the nameplate off the car, Hijo de Puta. And then I took the axles, and I guess in the next installment, hopefully I'll be able to get around to rebuilding these. These, again, are OEM axles. They're in great shape. I haven't had any issues with them, but I'm going to rebuild them just because it's good, you know, good practice to make sure you service your parts, even though these have been ongoing for like 3 or 4 years now with no servicing, and they've been, you know, fine. So those are going to get repacked with Redline grease. Volunteer car. So volunteer car, I have these brackets here. Dylan Doosan, one of my Honda Challenge racing buddies, sold me these Willwoods, and they came with Mini Cooper rotors, and they came with these brackets, and these brackets fit on an EX Civic knuckle, just like that. Well, I think it'll fit on the DX one as well. But so these brackets, I'm going to use those on the Civic knuckle on that, get some Willwood Dynalites, and then I'll be able to run these Mini Cooper rotors that I used to run on this car. So this car will then have big brakes in the front. The rears will be hopefully disc brakes. Right now they're just drum brakes. So if someone wants to throw some disc brakes my way and let me piece something together, I would appreciate that. But yeah, I can't find those stickers, and that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. So yeah, it is 9:30 weeknight, you know, so we're probably going to pack it up. And that's kind of it, guys and girls and others. So thanks for watching, and I appreciate everything. Appreciate you guys checking out the channel and giving me your support. I never imagined I would have 50 people, give or take, regularly watching each of these episodes. So shout out to y'all. I really appreciate it. And here's one more look at the car. So that's it.